So I came across this article on I think it's called Phantom Wire, and it makes an interesting title here. So I thought I'd share this, and this was posted a couple of days ago, and so I just wanted to share that with you. So let's get into the article. It's on this website called Phantom Wire, and notice the title here. It says, "There were no more Stormtroopers in my version." George Lucas' scrapped sequel trilogy wanted to explore the one thing neither the original nor the prequel movies dared to. Let's go ahead and read this article. It says George Lucas once unveiled his plans for a Star Wars sequel trilogy that were drastically different from the previous entries and the Disney sequels. It says here that George Lucas served as the primary creative force behind the original trilogy and the prequel trilogy of Star Wars. However, Lucas did not have any creative input in the sequel trilogy that was produced after Lucasfilm was sold to Disney. However, that hasn't stopped Lucas from sharing his plans for what would have been his own take on the sequels. During an interview, Lucas revealed that he was once planning to focus on the Stormtroopers in his sequels. As a result, the sequel trilogy would have done something that neither the original trilogy nor the prequels attempted. At the same time, Lucas' plans hint that the sequels could have been improved products if they followed his scrapped plan. Now that's definitely one of many missed opportunities, what George has said he wanted to do. And wow, he wanted to do something that was different from what he had made in the originals and the prequels. And how cool would that be had he been able to do his version of the sequel trilogy? Again, it just goes to show that Disney just does not respect George Lucas at all. It says here that George Lucas' scrapped Star Wars sequel trilogy plans included more focus on Stormtroopers. George Lucas originally planned to make a sequel trilogy in his globally popular Star Wars franchise. After Lucasfilm was acquired by Disney, his plans were scrapped and the studio took a new creative direction. Creative direction? Yeah, right. It's a lousy direction. However, Lucas once detailed his plans for the sequels in the book Star Wars Archives 1999 to 2005, episodes 1 through 3. Now, I've heard about that book before. I believe Star Wars Theory has mentioned that before. He says in the book, Lucas revealed that he originally intended for the sequels to have an additional focus on the plight of the Stormtroopers. Lucas explained that after the Rebels won, the Stormtroopers would have been disbanded. He said, "After the Rebels won, there were no more Stormtroopers in my version of the third trilogy." Lucas added that his plans for the sequels would have taken inspiration from the Iraq War's aftermath. The Stormtroopers would have gone on in their different path and made fresh starts somewhere else in the galaxy. The Stormtroopers refuse to give up when the Republic wins. They want to be Stormtroopers forever, so they go to a far corner of the galaxy, start their own country, and their own rebellion. Lucas made the above statement explaining how he wished to expand upon the Stormtroopers and their story in his original plans for the sequels. Given that the earlier trilogies simply treat Stormtroopers as soldiers in the war between Jedi and Sith, an added focus on them would have been unprecedented in the franchise. The article continues, Lucas teased Luke Skywalker's mission in the Star Wars sequel trilogy. In that same book, Lucas also highlighted his plans for Luke Skywalker in the sequels. Lucas explained that he intended for Luke to rebuild the Jedi Order. The filmmaker added that Luke would have encountered the offshoot Stormtroopers in the galaxy's underworld. At the same time, he would have struggled to rebuild the Jedi Order. He stated, "The Jedi have to grow again from scratch, so Luke has to find two and 3-year-olds to train them. It'll be 20 years before you have a new generation of Jedi. Now that would have been a lot better than what Disney did with Luke Skywalker and the disgrace that they did to his character. Lucas confirmed that his sequels would have taken place shortly after Return of the Jedi, implying that he would have seen Luke during his prime as a Jedi Master. At the same time, the rebuilding of the Jedi Order would have been a long process. This version would have likely resonated better with fans. Oh, I agree with that. Considering the polarizing reaction to Luke Skywalker, who failed to rebuild the Jedi Order in the Disney-produced sequels. Amen to that.
Disney. Star Wars.
Sucks.
So I thought I'd share that with you and just let you know, just another example of Disney dropping the ball, not respecting George Lucas and what he wanted. If he would have been able to do his version of the sequel trilogy, Disney would just be not in this mess that they are in now, and this is why Disney Star Wars is in a bad predicament. It's because of them scrapping what George Lucas wanted, and it's because they want to focus on their creative ideas, in which they don't have any. So please let me know in the comments, what do you think of this? Do you think that this is an interesting article? I know for me, I definitely would have preferred it over the current sequel trilogy. That would have been 10 times better. So please feel free to let me know in the comments, wherever you may be. This is Blazerhawk Darren telling you that no matter how high you may soar, always stay grounded.